Huliso hostina pukuli hanali akucha ushta Ikhʋnapisa. Okay. At the bottom of the page, we have Hulba and Ila. Hulba and Ila. Ila is spelled I-N-L-A, following the rules for writing nasalization. Before T, C, H, and L, nasalization is written as the letter N. And again, just to remind you, the writer of this book chooses to underline a lot of nasalization when the rules could be followed. Okay, reading it says Hulba may be used as an adjective in a noun phrase or as a main predicate. When we mean the same, we should use a definite marker such as ma with the noun being compared. And before we get into the examples, I want to show you why I can't use Hulba to mean same. If you will look, if you have your dictionary handy, look on page 159. Page 159 in your dictionary. If you don't have your dictionary handy, just jot down the page number and you can look at it later. Here you can see that in the right-hand column toward the bottom of the page, you're going to see other entries besides the one we want to look at. And there's a couple other entries on the next page. But the very first entry says this is an adjective. You can see that it also can be a noun, it can be a verb, it can be an adverb, it can be two types of verbs. But looking at that first entry where it says adjective, it says like, resembling, similar, alike, Itioba, Itihulba. Itihulba, that's something I want you to keep in mind too. It means to be like each other, to be similar to each other. So that's the word that we're looking at here. But if you will read through that, there is no word like as something. And as I mentioned before, sometimes people who don't understand the language will take it and suppose and put it in print, and it makes other people who don't know the language grab onto it, and they are in error because the book is in error. So again, just if you think about it, when something resembles something, that is different than being the same as something. So even those two words are different. To be like something is not the same as being the same as. So to me, I have defined this word hulba to mean to be like, similar, resemble. Those would be my choice of words to define the word hulba. To be like something else, to be similar to something else, to resemble something else. Now let's look at the examples. The first one says Sholoshma hulba ish chompatokon. And where it says it's going to be using that definite marker, ma, such as ma, the full understanding of this particular term, this particular sentence, sholosh mahulba ishchon patakon, does not say, did you buy the same shoes? If it resembles it, that's fine, but you can't say the same, because to resemble something and to be the same are two different ideas. So I have changed this to you. Did you buy shoes similar to those? And that's where that word ma comes in. Ma. Did you buy shoes similar to those? And it's understood that we're talking about shoes. So my definition and my translation of the Choctaw sentence A is, did you buy shoes similar to those? And like I said, shoes is understood. And when you make those comparisons, in English, a lot of times we don't say the full form. But in Choctaw, when it's written, you want to understand there is a full form in English that could be understood. So this is how I would translate the sentence. Did you buy shoes similar to those? And it's understood that they were still talking about shoes. Example B says, sholosh pat holba. Sholosh pat holba. And again, the understanding is there that the answer is yes. These shoes, sholosh pat, these shoes are similar, not the same. They're similar. And I keep saying that similar and same don't mean the same thing. So here we have, yes, these shoes are similar. And again, the reference is made to the shoes. So it's understood. Yes, these shoes are similar to those. It's understood to which shoes the comparison is being made. So again, hulba, it means to be similar, to be like, to resemble something else. And usually the comparisons are shown by using the term those or these. Do you have any questions on this part? Okay. Let's go to page 65. At the top of page 65, it says to express the sense of similar, we use hulba chohmi. And I've given you the word for similar is hulba because we looked at it in the dictionary. Now, let's look on page 108 in the dictionary. Page 108 in the dictionary. We're looking for the word chohmi. We're looking for the word chohmi. We've already looked at hulba. So now we want to look at chohmi. And we have determined that hulba does mean similar. In the left-hand column toward the bottom of the page, next to the last entry, you're going to find the word chohmi as an adjective, as a verb, as an adverb. I think back in chapter 2, maybe, we learned chohmi as being as an adverb, meaning somewhat, sort of. I think that's how the books had stated it. So on page 16, let's call this an adjective. It could be an adjective. It can be, I believe we saw it as an adjective, a verb. It could be an adverb. And we learned that it means to be sort of, somewhat. Okay. But in the dictionary, if you look at that first entry for the adjective, it says, what are the first two words? To be like, similar, somewhat. Adverb, it means somewhat as well. So, if hulba means like and some similar, and we see chohmi meaning the same thing, is it necessary to use both? It isn't. So the book again is in error when it tells you that we express similar by using hulba and chohmi. So you might understand hulba and chohmi if you hear these words spoken together. You may not likely hear it, but if you do, it's going to have a different understanding than similar, or as the book chooses to tell you. Similar is said by using hulba and chohmi. Well, we've determined that hulba means the same thing as chohmi. So to use these together in a sentence would be rather confusing, redundant. But in the Choctaw sense, if you heard these two words, Chohme would be an adverb, not another adjective. Chohme would be an adverb to say, this kind of resembles something else. This kind of looks like something else. This sort of looks like the other. It could be determined that way, but like I said, you're not likely to hear both Hulba and Chohme in the same sentence when speakers are speaking. So to me, the word that's going to express similar is still Hulba without Chohme. The example here says Sholoshpat Hulba. These shoes are similar. But again, here there is something lacking because it's really difficult for people who don't understand the language to put something down and truly understand it in the Choctaw sense because they don't quite know how to do that. When we are going to say these shoes are similar, it's understood because when I see a sentence like that, these shoes are similar, I want to ask the question, similar to what? Because when you use these terms, you're making a comparison. These shoes are similar to me doesn't make sense in English unless something has already preceded it or there's a conversation going on where it's understood about what they are similar to. So just to see a sentence that says these shoes are similar does not give a complete thought to me. And I want to ask similar to what? So the term here that I would suggest a person would use Sholoshpa Ittihulba, and then it would give sense that it's similar to each other. That way you have a complete thought instead of these shoes are similar and Sholoshpat Hulba. And my question would be in the Choctaw sense, Sholoshpat Nata Hulba. What do these shoes, what are these shoes similar to? What do these shoes look like? Hulba. Sholoshpat Nata Hulba would be my question. So I use the term Ittihulba. These shoes are similar to each other because, again, you're making a comparison and you want it understood what that comparison is. So now if you will look on page 211 in your dictionary, page 211 in your dictionary, you're going to see the term ITI, and this is a misprint because Byington didn't write the double consonant sounds. Sometimes he did in some of the words, but not all of them that have a double consonant sound. Itti, you're looking for the term itti, I-T-T-I, not I-T-I. I-T-T-I is itti. It's in the left-hand column, just a little bit lower than half the page down. You're going to find I-T-I. This should be written I-T-T-I, itti. What's the first definition? Each other. Each other. Itti, each other. A reciprocal pronoun. And it says to look at IT. IT is on page 207. IT or ITI at the bottom of the page, it says reciprocal pronouns. It's going to put them together. Itti. Itabua, to hit each other. Ikhʋnapisa, to see each other. Chahta, to argue with one another. Ikhʋnapisa. And then it's a prefix, so we can put that with hulba. Ikhʋnapisa. And then we would get the sense of resemble each other, be similar to each other. So when we put that with sholoshpat ikhʋnapisa, these shoes resemble each other, these shoes look like each other. Sholoshpat ikhʋnapisa, these shoes are similar to those shoes. Always show that comparison. In the English, if you're carrying on a conversation, it may be understood. But in Choctaw, always give that comparison and give it a good understanding. So to express the sense of similar, we use hulba. We use ikhʋnapisa to show resemblance to each other. We use the term chohmi, understanding that in this sense, this would be an adverb, not an adjective, not another adjective. Chohmi, somewhat, sort of. These shoes sort of resemble each other. Could be understood in this manner, but like I said, in how we speak, you're not likely to hear both these terms being used in the same sentence. Any questions on this part? Good, 3 sentences for you to translate. I'll give you a couple more minutes on this assignment and we'll go over it. The first one begins with the katosto, means to resemble, to be similar. And I showed you hulba, the same, does not mean the same. Not mean the same. Katostoma, this is object. Katoschitoma, that big bulls is similar. Are those are the translations that you would use. Those are the definitions you would use for hulba, to be similar to resemble. Katostohbevat. I'm going to see if I can change that. Let me go back up here. There, I can put it back down on there. So your translation for this one would be, this white cat resembles that big cat, or this white cat is similar to that big cat. Hulba does not mean the same. On number 2, this table is similar to that table. This table is similar to that table, and I didn't mean to erase that. This table is similar to that table. Here again, we're starting out with this table as the subject of your sentence. Anumpa pat or Anumpa elapat. And for the word similar, Ulpa. And I went ahead and put to that table because even though we say it in English, a lot of times if you just read a sentence in Choctaw, it's hard to translate a single sentence if you don't know what preceded it. There may be a conversation going on where there's some comparison being made. That's why I said it's best to write that comparison so you're not misunderstood in the English. So probably another way to do this might be to that one, because it's still going to be renaming table. This table is similar to that table, or this table is similar to that one. One is going to make reference back to the subject table, so it can be understood in that way. But just to, in English, think about it. If I told you this table is similar to, and it gives you what I think it's, to make sure that the table is similar is a table that has a cover. That one always show where your ilapat. Again, this house, your subject, this house. Chukka ilapat. Chukka okchako ma holbakio. Chukka ilapat. This house. Hulbakio, this is your verb, hulbakio, doesn't resemble, isn't similar to, however you want to translate this part. Hulbakio isn't similar to, doesn't resemble that blue house. Chukka okchako ma, that blue house. This house doesn't resemble that blue house. This house doesn't resemble that blue house. If you choose to write the word for similar, use the word similar. This house isn't similar to that blue house. Do you have any questions? If you will, mark page 65, the second paragraph down where it says to say the same as. This is where we're going to learn the word for same. Mark your page for there and we'll come back on Wednesday. And I wanted to apologize for last Wednesday. On Tuesday, we were asked to sing at a funeral, and it's about an hour and a half drive from here, and we gathered as many people as we gathered 4 people together to go and do that. We do provide a service when someone asked us to sing, especially at a funeral or some other occasion that's going on. We do go, and it just so happened that one of the people that went with us was the technician that usually posts this on the website. And I apologize for not giving you enough notice to not come to class on Wednesday. So if there are no questions, I'm going to go ahead and close class, and I will see you guys on Wednesday, the 19th. Wednesday, Ikhʋnapisa.